Good morning, everyone. Here we are in Gigi's driveway, my mom's driveway. We've been having a great visit. I have not pulled out the camera for any of what we've been doing as a family, just out of respect for everyone else's privacy, but we've had a great time. I'm going to throw up a couple of still photos here for you so you can get a little glimpse into what we've been doing. We spent the day, an entire day. Cindy worked tirelessly to get my mom's house. You know, she's getting older and it's hard for her to keep up with things, and so we were able to just do some physical labor around here. Boys and I pressure washed the back deck and the little shed out back, and Cindy helped her clean in the house, and as a reward for all the help, they treated us out to sushi one night, and the night after that my sister Amy brought us back a real treat. There's a good restaurant here in the New Orleans area called Salvo's, and she brought us back some crawfish and some crabs, and we just had a little feast one night sitting at the kitchen table. My niece has a new home she's been in. It was her birthday, and so sort of had a family get together over at her home and got to see what she's been up to, and that was a really good day. The boys got to be with their cousins, and we were able to take a Ragusa family picture, which we don't get those too often. It's worked out real well to have the motorhome here in my mom's driveway. We got lucky. We're about 35 feet long, and maybe we had about 3 feet to spare in her driveway, so we fill it up pretty good. I've been getting up in the mornings and not going into the house right away. I'm still doing remote learning with school. We have another week of school left, and so many mornings I sit here and have my laptop and get on Google Meets and get some schoolwork done. And today is sort of one of my last tasks is going to be to get the grade book all squared away, and so that's what I'm doing this morning. On top of the coronavirus situation, which seems like everybody's ready to come out of that real quickly, on top of dealing with all that and wearing masks everywhere we go, now we have the rioting happening in Minneapolis, which has spread across the country. Anyway, that adds a little wrinkle into our travels. In fact, I'm seeing on some of the social media for RVers, be on the lookout as you travel, particularly through big cities. Protesters have been stopping vehicles on the highway. I think everywhere we're headed is pretty much out in the country, and we may actually route around. In fact, we're supposed to go through Dallas. We may route around Dallas, and in fact we will route around Dallas. Crazy times. I tell you, 2020 is going to go down in the history books here. We're ready for a little bit of normalcy. My apologies for the maybe a bit of a somber sort of attitude here, because it's just I guess a very reflective time. On a good note, Silverton, Colorado is our main or primary goal for this trip. Seems to be opening up really well. In fact, it's really just about open. Restaurants and things are at a 50% capacity. Anyway, let me get this grade book all situated, and then all right, all that schoolwork is complete, and I'll take you around and show you our spot here and how we fit in. First, I didn't have any measurements, but what I did remember, cars parked, 2 stacked here in the driveway, so I figured at 20 foot a car we probably had 40 feet. We got a little lucky, because you may want to ask your host to take a measurement for you. Well, I don't know. Now that I look at it, what would you say? That's about 6 or 7 feet that we had available to us. You look up here, we had power lines, and the power lines are they just touch the tip of the antenna. It's an insulated power line, so I think we were fine. Mom has electric right here in the garage, and so we have our string of adapters. What those adapters allow us to do is she has a 20 amp service here in the garage. Most modern homes are going to have a 20 amp in the garage. Some of the older homes you may get into 15 amps in the garage, but with the 20 amps that allows us to run things selectively here in the motorhome. We have, of course, a 50 amp service in the motorhome, but now that we only have 20 available to us, I have to be careful. First thing I did, if someone that knows better can chime in, maybe correct me, I'm not an expert, but the coach's converter is the first thing that I turned off. And what the converter does, it uses up a few amps of power, and it takes the 110 from the house and converts it down to 12 volts throughout the coach. So you don't have to use your batteries to run everything 12 volt. Since we installed all the solar that you saw us put in, I can pretty much run off those batteries, and the solar will keep them charged for me. So I turned that converter off, which buys us a little space with our electrical needs. The other thing we do is we run one AC at a time. The front AC is a 15,000 BTU, and it uses more power than the rear AC. The rear AC is 13.5, sort of your more standard. Now I'm going to take you around here. Another item that is very helpful is having an electric management system. In here you can see, I don't know if you guys can see the red lights, hopefully, but it's telling me, let's see, let's wait for a cycle. It's telling me line 1 is at 111 volts and using 0 amps. Line 2 is at 111 volts and using 12 amps. The reason that's important is because you don't want to exceed the 20 amps available to you from the house. In fact, you don't even want to get close, like within 80%, say. So you can see, what was, I forget it already. What did it say, 11 amps? That's the rear AC. That's our smaller AC, and it pulls 11 amps, which is, I don't know, roughly 3/4 of the power we have available to us. So when I run the rear AC, we have a little bit of space to do some things like put a TV on, have the lights on, a quick, whatever little small, charging some devices, things like that. If I run the front AC, I've watched my management system there, and it tells me that line 1 then, well, line 2 would start pulling 0 amps, but line 1 pulls in the neighborhood of about 16 amps. And so, there's another 5 amps that the AC in the front takes that the rear doesn't. What does this mean? Well, there's a pretty substantial difference in the cooling power in the front one, believe it or not. The numbers sound close, but it really makes a difference in the coach. The front AC is necessary to stay reasonably cool during a hot daytime. The rear AC does a great job for us at night once the sun's down. So I've been alternating. During the day, the front one is pulling duty, and it's close to my maximum amperage draw that I can pull, and so we don't do many other things during the day. Once the sun goes down, I switch from the front to the rear. It does a good job, particularly of cooling the bedroom at night, and the boys don't like it as cool as I do, so it works out fine. No one's getting shortchanged with cooling, and we can put on the TV at bedtime and brush our teeth with the power toothbrushes and do little things like that. Now, regarding water, Mom has a water spigot for us right over here on the side. We filled up our freshwater tank when we got here, and we've just sort of been bleeding off of that as we've been here. And I don't think we've even used 1/4 of a tank, because we're using that for quick little things. All our showering is happening in the house, and it just makes for a very convenient stay. Now when we get to the end of our visit here, we will probably have more in the gray tank than I'd like to travel with. So we're going to find an option to get rid of the gray. In fact, I may get some hate mail here, but there's storm drains all throughout the street here. And this gray truly is, it's not even shower water. It's just a quick rinse of something, or brushing the teeth or something like that. Good morning. Last day here with Gigi. It is 5 o'clock in the morning. We have a long day ahead. I'll fill you in on more story later. We have to be somewhere. We have to be in Orr, Texas tonight for dinner. So we're rolling early, but we're about to get hooked up. We're gonna get on the road, start heading north. Leaving Mom gets more and more emotional every time we do it, and it's hard. It's hard. We want to be with her all the time, and so she got emotional, we got emotional. For me, it's a little easier to, I make the goodbye a little faster. I know Ethan and the boys, they seem to drag it out, and that's okay, works for them. But I just had to, like, good night and go to bed.